Erev Tov, good evening, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Isn't it nice that it's just Shabbos? It's just Shabbos. It's just Shabbos. We're on page 10 at the top of the page. Hine ma tovu manayim. How wonderful it is that we're all together today. Page 10.
Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad, hinei ma tovu manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad, hinei ma tovu manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad, hinei ma tov, hinei ma tov. Yadadai, yadadadadadadadai, hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Yadadai, yadadadadadadadai, hine ma tovu manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tovu manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad.
And we'll turn all the way to page 344 as we join in singing Psalm 96, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Sing unto God a new song. 344.
Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai shir chadash, Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai shir chadash.
Let's turn to pages 2 and 3 in our prayer books. Pages 2 and 3 as we rise for the blessing of our Sabbath lights. We'll be led in that blessing by Laura Saperstein, our former board member and mother of our bar mitzvah. Pages 2 and 3.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadnik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner
remain standing as we turn to page 20, welcoming Shabbat like a bride, like a queen, with the singing of Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, remembering to turn to greet the Sabbath bride on the last verse. Page 20.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. La 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 la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Yishmi'anu el hamiyuchad, Adonai echad, Shemo echad. L'shem el tiferet v'liti la 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 la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki b'kor ha'viracha, meirash mikedem nisucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila la 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 la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'orech kubi ori, uri uri shir daveri, ki va'ornai alayich nigila la 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 la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha uv'sola, toch evorei yam segula. Boi chala, la 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 la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. La 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 la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela.
The following reading is not found in your prayer books. Be Still in Haste by Wendell Berry. How quietly I begin again. From this moment, looking at the clock, I start over. So much time has passed and is equaled by whatever split second is present from this moment. This moment is the first. Page 145 in our prayer books. Page 145 for Chatzi Kaddish.
Yit gadol v'yit kadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach yirotei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon u'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Bakala Zman Kariv Vimeru. Amen. Yehesh Merav Amevarach Le'olam Ulal Me'al Maya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach Yitba'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yitadal V'yitale V'yitala Shemei D'Kodashah Brichu Le'ela min kol bechata v'shirota Tush bechata v'nechemata Da'amiran mi'alma Vimeru. Amen. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Adonai, Amevorach, Le'olam Va'ed, Le'olam Va'ed. Yelelai, Lailai, Yelelai, Lailai, Yelelai, Lailai, Yelelai, Lailai.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher baro ma'ariv araviv, b'chokhmah poteach sharim, u'v'tvuna meshane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'mesader et hakochavim, b'mishrateim barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla, u'mavdil ben yom u'ben layla, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo.
El Chai v'Chayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world.
In each age we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment we stand face to face with truth.
In each age we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברתם בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection. Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil in them. When will redemption come? Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom.
Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 mi khamach ba'elim Adonai mi khamach nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osefele nora tehilot osefele malechutecha ra'u banecha ukeyayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam ze Eliyanu ve'amru ze Eliyanu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. As we transition in our calendar from the days of awe, which have just passed, into the calmer but no less holy festival of Sukkot, we take a moment during our service to pray for the shelter which this festival brings to mind. We pray and thank God not only for the physical shelter which we are blessed with, surrounding us and our families from the elements, but we also take a moment to thank God for being our spiritual shelter, for protecting us and guiding us during the physical and spiritual days and nights of our lives. This setting of Hashkivenu can be found on page 373. As the melody becomes familiar, please join in. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps, and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Ufros Eilenu Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufros Eilenu Sukkot Shlomecha. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps, and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Oh, guide my steps.
Back on page 154.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam merit olam. B'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael Oiti le'olam le'olam, ki sheishet yamim asoi Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat nafash.
Let's rise now together for the Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi akita ilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezacher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geulah livnei v'neihem, Leman Shemo v'Yahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechakel chayim v'chesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech novlim v'rovech cholim, Umati Rasurim, Umekayem Emunato, Vishene Yafor, Micha Mochava Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Lemit, Umechaye, Umasiach Yeshua, Chayot hako, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hako. Atah kadosh, Shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom Hallelujah Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Let's read together at the bottom of page 160. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Be gracious, Adonai, our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. O may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Our God and God of our, let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and in the midst of our people in Sion. Blessed is Adonai, whose presence renews Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato letzion. Top of 163. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki Adon Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom, Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasin Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasin Le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasin Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasin Le'olam. Tasin Le'olam. Tasin Le'olam.
On page 253, We take time in our service to think of those who are in need of healing, a healing of body, a healing of spirit. We think at this time as one congregation of Myra Berkowitz and Louis Statt. And I would ask, if you are thinking of someone who is in need of healing and wish to share that person's name out loud, that you feel free to do so as my eyes meet yours. For all those we mention out loud, for all those we mention in our hearts together, we pray for healing.
Mishabeirach avotenu mekol habracha li'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishabeirach imotenu mekor habracha li'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom imromav. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'ako Yisrael. Ve'imru Amen. Uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'ako Yisrael. Amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav. Uya say shalom aleinu ve'ako
Let's rise now together for Kiddush. And let's welcome any of the kids up onto the bima who want to join us for Kiddush and do that Kiddush thing up on the bima and get a cup from Judith and Singa. Okay, Luke's going to do it. And Maddie's going to do it. The Kiddush will be led in English by our bar mitzvah, Eric Saperstein.
Let us praise God with this symbol of joy and give thanks for the blessing of the past week, for life and strength, for the home and love of friendship, for the discipline of our trials and temptations, for the happiness that has come to us of our labors. You have enabled us, O God, by the blessings of work and live and love. Have sanctified us by Sabbath worship and ordained us in the Torah. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is Sabbath, to be allowed unto the eternal your God.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tefillah l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'chorta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Let's stretch our hands out over our children, whether they are right in front of us or on the bima, and say over them, may God bless you
May God bless you
and protect you.
and protect you.
May God's light
May God's light
shine in you
shine in you
and inspire you.
and inspire you.
May God's presence
May God's presence
always be with you
always be with you
and bless you
and bless you.
with shalom,
With shalom,
with peace.
with peace.
Amen.
Amen.
And we'll remain standing for our Seder Kriyat HaTorah, although we'll give Judith a minute to put the tray down first. All right. We remain standing.
Ashlosha devarim, ashlosha devarim, ashlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Ashlosha devarim, ashlosha devarim, ashlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al Torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al Torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim.
We may be seated. Sam, would you take the cloth off?
Shabbat shalom, everyone. We find ourselves, surprise, surprise, on the border of the land of Canaan. Just about time for us to enter. 2 more things need to happen. We need to hear one more time what will happen if we obey God and what will happen if we don't obey God. And Moses needs to die. But that's next week. So, we are at Ha'azinu, also known, Ha'azinu is literally translated as, oh listen, or hear.
also known as Moses' final song. Why, in our second to last parsha, is there a song? How did you all learn to read, how did you all learn the alphabet? Through a song. Music is one of the best memory devices we have available to us. So, after how many Parshiot Deuteronomy that we've listened to us literally saying the same things over and over again, blessings and curses, and this is what's going to happen if you obey God, and this is what's going to happen if you don't. Moses comes and God says, give unto Israel this song that they may remember what they're supposed to do and what will happen if they do not.
Cool. If you want to follow along in the Plaut Chumash,
Right.
it's on page 1400, I believe.
1400.
Cool. And we'll all rise to do the bracha together. We all deserve an aliyah every now and again.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamborah, Baruch Adonai Hamborach leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
We can be seated.
Ha'azinu hashamayim ve'adabera v'tishma ha'aretz imrei fi ya'arof kamatar lichi tizal kata imriti chizchirim alei deshe v'chivririm alei esef Ki Shem Adonai Ekra Havu Godel Eloheinu Hatzor Tamim Pe'olo Ki Chol Derachav Mishpat El Emunah Ve'ein Avel Tzadik Vayashar
Yasher Koach. We rise for the bracha. Sam, if you'll bring the mantle back over this way, and we'll remain standing for Hagbah and as we return our Torah to the ark.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei v'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai li'ad Moshe. Etz Chaim hi l'machazikima v'tomcheha me'ushar tirachecha darchenu v'chol netivoteha shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chodesh Chodesh Yameinu Chodesh Yameinu Keketem.
Many of you know I am fond of saying there's all kinds of learning. You've heard me say this before. I got that expression from my teacher, Rabbi Ken Ehrlich, who was dean of HUC. I want to share with you a moment of my own rabbinic learning that took place almost exactly 20 years ago this week. And if you look at me and say, how do you remember that? Talk to my wife about my memory sometime. She's nodding her head here, right? Yeah. Don't ask me what I ate for breakfast, but I can tell you what I was doing 20 years ago. In 1998, right around now, I was walking down the hallway of the Hebrew Union College in Jerusalem. And I was talking with some of my classmates, and we were getting into some kind of heated discussion, as rabbinic students are wont to do. And at some point, I said in a mock exasperated tone, I just can't win. I was kidding around, trying to diffuse the situation, and I said, I just can't win. And a classmate of mine, who later became a wonderful colleague, looked at me with the most deadpan of deadpan expressions and said to me, 2 feet away from my face, then maybe you should stop trying. Oof. Well, that got me where it smarts. I'm sure she meant it to be, and by the way, we have a good relationship, this colleague and I, who will remain nameless for the sake of not getting into Lashon Hara. But I'm sure she meant it to be humorous, but it ended up being one of those things that really stuck with me from my first year of rabbinic school up until literally this moment. I think about that interaction on a very regular basis. Part of it is, of course, that comment about winning. It's not that I need to, okay, I like winning. I like getting my own way, I will admit it. But it's not about the winning. It's not about the winning. It's about that sense of vulnerability that comes. That sense of feeling weak, feeling disarmed somehow. And I think for many of us, that feeling of vulnerability, we're taught in this country that feeling of vulnerability feels bad. It feels somehow shameful. It feels like something that we can't handle, that we should avoid. One of my favorite stories, and relatively well, it's a famous story in my family. I don't know if it's actually a famous story. Lyndon Johnson, when he was president, is getting on a helicopter to go to Camp David or something. And as he's getting on, a Marine runs over to him and says, Sir, that's not the right helicopter. Marine 1 is over there. You're getting on the wrong helicopter. And President Johnson looks at him and says, son, they're all my helicopters. And then proceeds to get on the wrong helicopter. Now, on a certain level, President Johnson was right. But would it have been so bad for him to have smiled awkwardly, said, thank you, as you were, and walked over to the other helicopter? Like, would that have killed him? But that's how we're taught. We're taught to not be vulnerable. We're taught to not expose ourselves. We're taught that there's something wrong with vulnerability. And yet, isn't that what we just did on Wednesday? Didn't we just spend an entire day, if we were doing it right, at least I hope, letting ourselves be vulnerable, letting ourselves be vulnerable to the liturgy, letting ourselves be vulnerable to our own sense of what we did right and what we did wrong, letting ourselves be vulnerable to the possibility that we can correct and fix who we are, the possibility of learning from our mistakes, the possibility that we don't have to wear our armor, that in being vulnerable, we can grow, we can be better people. And that theme continues. Cantor Flynn just chanted Ha'azinu so beautifully, and Ha'azinu comes, as the cantor just said, the Israelites are about to cross the Jordan River. They're about to go into Israel. They're primed and ready to conquer this land and to settle it, this Eretz Zvat Chalav Udavash, this land flowing with milk and honey. And what does Moses do? Instead of giving them a pep talk, gets up on the mountain and says, you know what? You're a bunch of losers. Let me tell you about all the times where you screwed up. Let me tell you about everything that you've ever done wrong. Hits him square between the eyes. Like now? You're going to do that now? Why? Because they're vulnerable. And to remind them that their vulnerability is not, in fact, a weakness, but it is a strength. That by being vulnerable, they're open to God's mitzvot. They're open to learning. They're open to growth. To put their armor on and to be protective is how they keep getting in trouble over and over again. To be vulnerable means the possibility of being open to holiness. And that theme continues. We're going to start Sukkot Sunday night. What happened at Sukkot? Say that again. We sleep outside. In theory, I think this happens more in California than in Delaware, but in theory, certainly in Israel, we're supposed to sleep outside in a building that is by its design gossamer. By its design, fragile. We are exposed from four directions and through the roof to the elements, right? Only a sukkah has a roof that you can see the stars through, which means what comes down gets in, right? Like the opposite of what you want in a roof. We're not going to talk about roofs. What is that if not ritualized vulnerability? What is that if not us coming together right after Yom Kippur, right when we want to put our armor back on? Well, we're done with that. I'm going to get back into my usual frame of mind where nothing can hurt me or touch me and I'm never wrong and it's fine. And actually not. I'm going to continue that learning that I did on Yom Kippur. Right around the same time I had that encounter, I was taught one of my favorite stories by my teacher, Michael Marmer, at the Hebrew Union College. And it's a story that stuck with me. You've heard me say it before, but it bears repeating. In every conversation, there are two angels. But only one can be in the room at any given time. The angel of winning and the angel of learning. When we are vulnerable, when we are open, we allow the angel of learning to be present. We allow ourselves to grow. When we choose not to do that, then it's all about winning. So as we move from Yom Kippur into Sukkot, may we allow ourselves to listen to and be present with our better angels. And may we take that which we learned at Yom Kippur, and that sense of vulnerability that served us so well, into the new year. Can you hear us, son? May it be God's will. Our service continues on page 282 as we rise for Aleinu L'Shabbat.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא
on page 294. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. If you are in the first 30 days of your mourning, I invite you to rise at this time. And if you're in the first year of your mourning, I invite you to rise. If on this Shabbat you observe a yahrzeit, I invite you to rise at this time. And if it is your custom to rise, to remember those whom we only can remember, I invite you to do so as we join together in Mourner's Kaddish. Again, page 294. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael, ba'galav v'yisman kari v'imru, amen. Yehe shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya, Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei d'kudisha, barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shalom araba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those who we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We remember Anne Sharon, Dr. Milton Wall, Frederick DeVries, Cecilia Allen, Janet Bender, Edward Bernhardt, Irvin Danberg, Alan Edelson, Elfrida Gottschalk, Hillard Greenstein, Leo W. Hirsch, Claire Carton, Marion B. Kleiner, Al Lefton, Sarah Schnittman, Thelma Simmons, Harry Walpert. And I would ask if you have a name to add, feel free to do so as my eyes scan around the room. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing as we say, amen. Please be seated. We extend our heartfelt sympathies to Mary and to her whole family on the passing of her husband, Fred DeVries. I know he will be profoundly and fondly missed. We extend a hearty Mazal Tov to Eric and to his family. We look forward to celebrating on the Bima with you tomorrow at our 11 o'clock Saturday morning service, which is preceded by Torah study at 9:30. If you've been thinking about coming and joining us for Torah study or that Torah portion, you want to know more about that song, I'd encourage you to join us. That starts at 9:30, and then our service at 11 o'clock, led by our friend Eric Saperstein. Really looking forward to celebrating on the Bima, probably more than you are. But you're going to have fun tomorrow too, right? Okay, cool. Sunday, we have a lot going on here as well. Sunday morning, as part of Peace Week here in Wilmington, our own Reva Brown, board member and artist extraordinaire, is going to be working on a giant calligraphy project at the egress, at the exit of our parking lot. So if you're here on Sunday morning, first of all, I encourage you to come around. She's going to be starting around 9:30. The Sikh community is going to be helping her out, which is really cool. Our religious school kids are going to be helping her out, which is really cool. I'd encourage you to come and check it out. I'd also encourage you, if you're going to be here on Sunday, to drive through the parking lot very carefully so that Riva does not become one with her artwork. We don't want that. We want the artwork, but not that. So that should be really cool. I'd encourage you to come and participate in that. Sunday night as well, we have our Erev Sukkot service at 5:30, followed by a congregational dinner and a special program. We have the head of Lutheran Community Services coming and joining us that Sunday evening to talk a little bit about what it is to run a food pantry, which is good because we're running a food pantry now and we need to know how to do that. So if that's of interest to you, if you were thinking about volunteering for the food pantry, I'd strongly encourage you to come to that program. It should be pretty cool and pretty amazing. And then Monday, the opportunity to wave Lola Ben Etrog in the Sukkah as well. Lots going on. Look at your Sabbath lights. Or if you grabbed a holiday happenings, the Sabbath Lights is blue, the holiday happening is purple. There's no rhyme or reason to that, except that's the paper we had in the office. They will tell you all the cool stuff that we've got going on this month and beyond. We're going to conclude our service by turning to our cantor and joining with her in that wonderful song by Julie Silver, that wonderful arrangement, Uvu Frosa Lenu, back on that page, 373, I believe. And we're going to rise and we're going to sing that together as we anticipate Sukkot.
Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Ufros Eilenu Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufros Eilenu Sukkot Shlomecha. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps.
Let's join together in Hamotzin and join each other for a make Shabbat.
Hamotzi lachem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our prayer is joyfully said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat